The final member of the Grizzly football coaching staff has been around coaching his entire life and comes from a legendary family in Jace Schillinger, the new tight ends coach here at UM. And Jace, first off, tell me about the whirlwind of the last couple of weeks for you, a legend at Dickinson State. You won't say it, but I'll say it for you. It must have been tough to leave there, but coming on here at UM.
Yeah, it was a tough emotional decision to leave a lot of people I consider family and friends and people that were there back when I was playing and coached me and so forth. So that part of it was very difficult, and it has been a whirlwind of emotions and so forth. But I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to be at the University of Montana, program that's got a lot of tradition and a place I'm really passionate about.
So at what stage did you know you wanted to be a coach? I'm sure you've gotten this question a ton with the legendary family name, but when did you know you wanted to be a coach or just continue your career in football?
I don't know if that was really something you really thought about much when you were little. You were just always around. You know, my dad coached 3 sports, and so we were just always either on the field or in the gym or on the track. And so I think it was just kind of when you got done graduating and from college, it was just kind of one of those things you just expected you'd always do. It wasn't really something where I think I want to do this or I think I want to do that. It was just always, that's what we know, so that's what we're going to do.
For you, what did you learn most, just from your family, from Don, from your dad, from just anyone along the way, of what it took to be a successful coach, an incredible run at Baker High School, but what did you learn the most from them?
I think a lot of it was just treating people right in relationships, and a lot of the program success where I've been fortunate to be a part of was built on toughness and things like that. And so I think just relationships with people, that goes a long ways, because I mean, we used to always, you know, when you're done playing, that's what you have. You have relationships, and those are very important to myself, and I know to my family, and that's something that we've always believed in, treating people right, and that's kind of how I coach as well. So yeah, just relationships and just toughness and discipline.
Now the obvious question, it took me a couple to get here, but you're coaching now on the same staff as your brother. How surreal is that, and just being on staffs and really just sharing a hallway between the two of you?
It's been fun, and that was one of the reasons why, you know, I was fortunate to be able to get this opportunity, and it is nice to be able to have the opportunity to be able to coach them and also just kind of see them every day. You know, it's been a while since we've been able to do that, but it was kind of something that, you know, not many families get the opportunity to do it. And you know, my dad and my uncle were fortunate to do it for almost 30 years together, be able to coach together, and hopefully we get that kind of length, I guess, out of this opportunity, but you never know. But I'm certainly glad to be able to coach with Shan and share a hallway with him, and it's fun.
We were joking about it before we went on here. You actually moved further away from your hometown of Baker, from moving from Dickinson over here to Missoula. But what do you feel that just your knowledge of the state, the region, can bring to this coaching staff, whether it's in recruiting or just being able to understand and appreciate the history of Montana football a little more?
Well, like we talked about, I guess, with my dad and my brother both playing here, I understand the tradition. I understand the expectations that are set forth by the university and by the program, and so I've always understood that, and that's something that I very much embrace. As far as what bringing to the state and so forth, you know, I feel like just what we talked a little bit about with the relationships. I've been fortunate to work at a number of places. I've been fortunate enough to know a variety of different people throughout the state, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to build those relationships that have already been established. But you know, when I was at Dickinson State, we still recruited the heck out of Montana, and I think there's a number of relationships that are still built from that I will continue to use and so forth. But yeah, really excited to see the Montana people again and be a part of this great program. This
staff is a good mix of young and old. You're one of the younger guys here on staff, CJ Cox in there as well. What do you feel that you can bring most to this staff? Maybe a new, fresh perspective, of course, being one of the younger members.
Well, that's good, because the last staff I was one of the older guys.
Flip it around a
so
little
it feels
bit.
Good to be young, be part of the younger guy again. So yeah, so I tell you what, it's a great staff. Not just the wealth of knowledge that the staff has, but Coach Houck has put together a strong staff as far as just recruiting and knowledge base and so forth. But it's also I just have a lot of fun coming to work every day. you know, with the staff members that we have and just the characters that are here. And but when it's time to go, it's time to go. And I think that's something I really appreciate.
If you could take us through the early stages on what it's going to take to implement a tight end to the system a little bit. That's been a position that we haven't heard around Missoula the last couple of years, but the early stage with you as well as Coach Rosenbaugh and others on what's it going to take to implement the tight end position first.
Sure. Yeah, it'll take a little bit of work. You know, not many of them have gotten in three-point stances before, or at least since their high school days. So that'll be something that we'll have to get into here in winter conditioning and so forth. But yeah, so that'll be a little bit different. But the good thing is we got a group of guys that are just really eager to embrace the position and to want to do well with it. And so I think that'll be the easy part. Is those guys will buy into it very well. Coach Rosenbaugh really wants to have an emphasis on tight ends, and so that is something that I think our guys are really appreciative of too.
Final question, easy one for you. How fired up are you to get spring ball rolling and to really get this thing started?
I'm really fired up for it. I mean, just to go out and watch the guys, go out and compete and watch them move around a little bit. You know, obviously there's certain things you can see with the winter conditioning, but actually get them out there in the field and to let them go. I'm really looking forward to that and seeing how our guys respond to competition and so forth. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Welcoming the newest member of the Grizzly coaching staff in Jace Schillinger. Stay tuned on GoGrizz.com for plenty more for Grizzly Spring Ball.